Hello everyone, Jonas here with another shoutcast for you. Today I actually have tOwhOmVsROOTDrewbie, and it's going to be a Protoss vs Terran matchup on Shattered Temple. And we are going to see tOwhOm on the right side, while on the top of the map we're going to have ROOTDrewbie. Both these guys are very good players. ROOTDrewbie, I'm sure everybody knows who that is. Definitely dominating the ladder and also dominating the tournament scene as well, doing a great job. And I don't expect anything less but a great game from these two guys. tOwhOm I don't really know much about, I'll be honest with you. This is actually one of the first games I've ever actually casted of his. I've seen him play a few times, but like I said, I don't know a whole lot about his play style, so it'll be interesting to see what he does in this game. We are going to see a very early scout coming out of him right after his pylon goes down, and he's going to be scouting right at that point, going across the map to the bottom side. Unfortunately, it's going to be the wrong direction. He's going to be scouting Drewbie kind of late, but I mean that's definitely the normal way of scouting, so nothing he did wrong there. While Drewbie, he's going to be working on his barracks, and he's going to go right to his barracks. I'm sorry, he's working on his depot, going right for his barracks, I'm sure, very shortly here. Still getting the extra production out of his SCV there, getting some more minerals out first though. I'm sure after this SCV comes down we'll see that barracks, and there it goes right there. So we're going to see a barracks go down about 13 SCVs into the game. And then we are going to see tOwhOm just scout very slowly across the map. He will be getting into Drewbie's base here very shortly after this base scout here. And we are going to see tOwhOm throw down his assimilator and also his gateway. So going to very standard build, building stuff very tight, which is always a very good thing to do against a Terran, just because if he does decide to get some like Hellions out and your base is kind of spread apart, it can be very easy for the Hellions to go for your worker line, and it'll be very hard for you to actually get to those Hellions. So a very good idea to build a SimCity very close together like that. tOwhOm is going to finally scout. He's going to throw down a assimilator on the second gas, which is very annoying to deal with, just because as a Terran player, if you're going to go for mech, this can be very, very annoying to your build. It can slow you down quite some time. But if you're going to bio, then it doesn't really affect you. It really just depends on what Drewbie is deciding to go, or what his game plan was this game. We are going to see him actually go up here and grab an extra high yield mineral, which is a interesting idea. Never actually thought about that, but if this marine does, or this probe does survive, he'll have some extra resources to bring back home and tell the story of how he was able to scout the base of this Terran player very successfully. And we are going to have this marine starting to do damage to this assimilator. He can destroy it as fast as he can. Drewbie's going to be getting a Reaper out. Reapers are always a very good idea for a couple of reasons. The first reason, obviously, is easy to destroy probes in the back line if not expecting it, and also it's great to get some scouting information out as well. And they also destroy buildings pretty effectively as well. So once this Reaper actually pops out, this assimilator is probably going to die really fast. Does he see that expansion go down? I'm sure he does. And he is going to be able to see that by this assimilator, so that assimilator already paid by itself, so he knows he's going to be going to fast expand. And this assimilator is going to finally go down since that Reaper is out in the field, and that probe is going to get away before that Reaper destroys it. So we are going to see concussion shells being researched from Drewbie, so we are going to see some Marauders come out very soon, and that Reaper is going to finally go around to scouting, and it's going to go right directly to the base of tOwhOm. They'll be able to get some scouting information out on the map. tOwhOm is going to be going over here and possibly expanding. Nope, he's going to go right to the base, and no, he is going to expand. So there goes the expansion down for tOwhOm. So pretty early actual expansion for him, and he needs to be very careful. This Reaper's going to come down here, scout this, and maybe do some damage to his base, because there is no stalker on the field. Definitely not a very good situation to be in if you're tOwhOm right now. And that Reaper does scout that expansion, is going to come right to the mineral line, able to pick off a couple probes probably, because the Sentry's not going to be able to catch. Oh, there's that Stalker. That sneaky little Stalker. Didn't even see it inside that mineral line there. So he does have that Stalker up and is able to defend that mineral line very successfully. He even tricked me out. Didn't even realize that. We do have two Marauders and Marine coming across the map though to deal some damage to tOwhOm possibly. tOwhOm has one Zealot, Sentry, and a Stalker up, and he is going to be able to defend this, I think, pretty easily. There's a concussion shell out, though, which can be very annoying to deal with, and we are going to see Drewbie actually back away, not going to actually attack that expansion, and he is going to be able to start saturating this expansion right at this point. We are going to see Drewbie doing the same exact thing, though, that orbital command landing just at the same time as the Nexus is completed. So he's going to be able to saturate this expansion, builds a refinery on top of that gas as well, so he's going to be working off 3 gases here very shortly. And there is a proxy pylon, though, which can be very annoying if he's able to proxy some troops in. And we are going to see these actually Marauders destroy that probe that's been surviving this whole game and doing some great scouting information. And we're going to see a stem about 90% done. Attack 1 being researched for Drewbie as well. So doing a great job keeping up on his upgrades. 27 to 30 is the worker count, pretty even on both sides. The army count is going to be about 18 to 18, so very, very even. Worker count very even as well. There's some nice little mules out though, which makes the economy for Drewbie, be a little bit higher. So we look at the economy, we're going to see him ahead about, a 400 minerals per minute. So doing a great job with his mules and keeping that stuff very, very saturated. And he's even going to build 2 bunkers in a turn to actually defend this with ease as well. So here we go. We're going into about 8 minutes in the game. Both players are just macroing up, trying to get a good economy going and getting as many SCVs out as possible and upgrades as well. tOwhOm is getting his robotics facility started here, about 50% done, and a factory is on the way for Drewbie here at this point. He does have 3 barracks actually producing a lot of Marines. He was a little supply block for just a second there, but not anymore. And he is going to be getting those upgrades like he needs to. Actually, the attack 1 was done, and the combat shield is actually being started here as well. Factory about 50% done. I'm sure he'll be building a reactor on top of that, and then building a starport to get those medevacs out as soon as he can. And we are going to see tOwhOm just basically getting a lot of workers. 39 to 39 is the worker count, pretty even, with 3 mules out at a time is what Drewbie's working on at this point. So the economy is definitely going to be in his favor. SCV is starting to saturate even more on his expansion, just bringing a couple more down there to get as many workers on that expansion as he can. And one side note to see, as you can see, the mules are landing on this expansion. As a Terran player, you want to do that. The reason why is because you want this to be saturated as much as possible. You don't want this main base to be too oversaturated, because you're gonna, you start on the base and the main first, and if you put mules on these, then you're gonna run out of minerals in your main. It's always a smart idea to get the mules on your second base. Just a little side note there for you guys that are just starting playing StarCraft 2. And we are going to see that Armor 1 being researched as well for Drewbie, and Extended Thermal Lance being researched for tOwhOm. So both players just macroed up like I said before. Looks like we are going to have Drewbie actually destroying the back rocks here. The rocks over by the high yield, I mean. So he's going to go for that expansion here very shortly probably, so he can work off 3 bases. And this Marine's going to be picked off by the Stalker in the middle of the map. And there it goes, dying to that nice little Stalker. Didn't even lose its any life, just lost some shields. tOwhOm has an observer right on top of this though, so he will know if Drewbie decides to expand. And there goes the SCV. Will it go to expand, or will it not? He is saving up about 400 minerals, and that's exactly what he's going to go do. But that observer is going to be able to see everything he's planning on doing, and because of that, we do have tOwhOm destroying his rocks as well. So possibly going to go for expansion to make sure he keeps at the same pace as Drewbie. We are going to see a forge finally being actually worked on for tOwhOm, so he's going to be starting to work on his upgrades as well. And we are going to see a push here. He is going to be actually salvaging his bunkers and pushing across the map, possibly going to be attacking tOwhOm here, which doesn't have much of an army at all. 1 Colossus is all he really has. If he's able to snipe that Colossus, that'd be very big for him. 2 Vikings on the way. He didn't get any medevacs early on the game. Oops, did I not? Sorry, let me put myself as busy so we don't interrupt this attack. But here we go. We are going to see Drewbie come in here and attack, and he's going to go right for the force fields go down, and a lot of his Marauders do die. Splits up his army. The medevacs are going to come in here and heal this army as much as he can, though. Definitely some great force fields from tOwhOm, and that army that was small 2 seconds ago is big after 2 Colossus in the army, plus had some army down here destroying the rocks. But he was able to gather his troops because he did have an observer over there, and he's actually going to push now, and this could be very bad for Drewbie. tOwhOm is going to push in here. Force fields might go down. Splits up the army. No, it doesn't split up the army, but those are some decent force fields there. And he destroys all the Vikings on the field, which is very big because those Colossus are going to be devastating this army. And here comes tOwhOm pushing across the map. He does decide to back away. He's going to wait for those upgrades probably, and he's going to go for this medevac. This medevac isn't going to be in danger of dying. There's no blink though, so he's going to be able to get away probably by the skin of his... Nope, he does go down. We are going to see Attack 1 being researched finally since a forge is completed, and Zealot Charge being actually researched as well, which is a very, very nice ability to have against Marauders, and it makes those Zealots so strong. And we are going to see actually tOwhOm push up to the top of the base, probably go for this planetary fortress. He needs to be very careful though, because it's going to do a lot of damage to him. Here comes the engagement to the planetary fortress. Will Drewbie pull off his army to go defend this? It doesn't look like he's going to. He's going to let this planetary fortress die. And that's a big victory for tOwhOm, because he's going to be working on his third expansion down below, which is about 50% done. And we are going to see a drop inside the base. I almost missed that. And these Marauders are going to be able to destroy just the Cybernetics Core, it looks like, and that's about it. And they are going to get away before dying. Actually, 3 Marauders did die, unfortunately, but that's about it. But it did force... it forced tOwhOm to actually back away. He didn't want to actually engage that, and the Observer goes down as well. tOwhOm in a great position though. He's going to have that third expansion being actually completed here very shortly, and he's going to be able to saturate that, and he's going to be ahead by 1 base, but he's going to have a high yield, which is always a bonus. tOwhOm was able to destroy this expansion before it was even starting to get saturated. I think there's a mule on there that got a couple resources, but that's about it. And not looking good for Drewbie at all. He needs to do something here, or he's going to fall way behind in this game. He has thrown down his command center over here as well, so he's going to be going for this third expansion. That's going to be a little bit easier to defend, but I don't know. This is not looking good. There's a lot of Marauders and Marines out, but he only has a few Vikings there, but that should be plenty to deal with. What, 2 Colossus? 3 Colossus is all he really has. But there are some Stalkers that can easily, pick off these Vikings, but if he decides to pick off these Vikings, this ball of Marines and Marauders are going to do some damage. And they are going to be 1 attack, 1 armor. No more upgrades working on for Drewbie at this point. But we are going to see a 2 attack and blink being researched as well for tOwhOm. tOwhOm is actually going way ahead in this game. Worker count is going to be about 62 to 58, about even on that, but 3 bases to 2. And this is fully saturated now, this high yield is. And we are going to see the army size about 97 to 131. Drewbie definitely ahead in the army size, but this army size for tOwhOm is going to be very powerful. Protoss is definitely a very strong army that they can do in a small amount. And we are going to see both players just back away once again. Drewbie is actually going to be going for a different command center here, and he's going to fly this down to the high yield once again. So trying to get 1 base ahead, he really needs to do that. He knows he's behind. DTs are on the field though, and they can be very annoying against a Terran player because you have to waste those scans. And we are going to see that 1 attack almost research, 2 attack, I'm sorry, but 2 attack being researched for Drewbie right now as well. 3 more DTs being warped in. They are on the field. And we are going to see this monster of an army from Drewbie, completely maxed out at this point is going to be Drewbie, and we are going to see tOwhOm about 185, so almost maxed out. And we are going to see Archons being transformed as well. So this army for tOwhOm is definitely very dangerous. tOwhOm throwing down a few more gateways so he can get a nice warp in of troops, and even making a proxy pylon to make this army get backed up as fast as he can. Once it start to die a little bit. Both players are completely maxed out, and we are going to see an engagement probably very shortly. Both players trying to find a great position to get into the attack, and we are going to see this attack commence here very shortly. We are going to see tOwhOm all together. There is no ghost on the field, I don't think, but here we go. We are going to see a ghost to go down, I think. And we are going to see a nice little engagement from Drewbie destroying this army, and basically everything did die. We do have tOwhOm trying to warp some unison as fast as he can, but Drewbie doing a great job microing up and just annihilating this army. My goodness, I cannot talk. And we are going to see Drewbie just devastate this proxy pylon, destroy a couple zealots that were warping in as well. And that was going to be a one-sided match there, unfortunately, for tOwhOm. That was definitely far ahead in this game. And now it's going to be about even, though. But the army size is still in the favor of Drewbie. And we are going to see both players just back away once again. Did I see Ghost out there? Or was I lose my... Yeah, we do have a Ghost Academy, so we did have some Ghosts and some EMPs, but I totally missed that because I am a noob and I suck at casting, but I'm trying my best. Look at that army though, it is so weakened right now. This medevac is out of energy, trying to heal as much as he can. No medevac's actually on the way. We are going to see ship weapons 1 being researched, attack 3, and an armor 2 being researched, and also that energy for the ghost coming out as well. So tons of upgrades for Drewbie. Drewbie's going to be getting maxed out here very shortly as well. About 164 to 122 is the army count. Both players on the same amount of bases, and we are going into a late game now, 21 minutes into the game, and definitely looking on Drewbie's side of the map, he's definitely ahead after looking really promising for tOwhOm, but that attack was just very, very devastating to tOwhOm. tOwhOm was really caught out of position there. His army was all together, and that EMP went on that army and just destroyed it. The Vikings were able to dish out a lot of damage to those Colossus. Those Colossus died so fast. tOwhOm working on his 4th base over here, 4th expansion, but Drewbie's doing the same exact thing. So both players are keeping up on their macro, but that army count is going to be in favor of Drewbie by a little bit there, 97 to 59. Worker counts will be in favor of tOwhOm still. But the army upgrades are definitely going to be in favor right now of tOwhOm for a little while it's only 1-2 to 1-3. But that attack 3 is about 50% done, and the armor 2 is about 90% done. So here we go. What's going to happen? We are going to be going into seeing another drop probably from tOwhOm here. He's bringing his warp prism up. It is empty, but he's going to actually easily start to put it into phasing mode so he can actually land or warp in some units, and that's exactly what he's going to do. There's not much to destroy up here, but he's going to go for it anyways, and he's out of line of sight, I think, of this. Nope, Drewbie does see it a little bit, so he's able to get up there and deal with this, and there goes his army, able to come in there very fast. DTs are warping in though, but there's going to be plenty of scans on the field to deal with this. There goes the scan already. So this attack didn't do anything at all. Warp Prism goes down instantly from the Vikings, and those 2 DTs go down as well. 2 turns going down right away, and what are we going to see happen here? This is going to be interesting to see. Both players are going to be maxed out almost already again. 200 actually is going to be Drewbie, but 150 is going to be tOwhOm. So tOwhOm's not actually maxed out quite yet. Does throw down a few more gateways as well. Tons of minerals in the bank is tOwhOm though. So he's just waiting for the right timing to warp in his units, I guess. And then we are going to see him work on the attack 3, working on his shields as well. And we are going to see lots of upgrades going down for both players. We are going to see Drewbie almost maxed out on his upgrades. 3-3 coming on the field. 3 attack are actually just completed, but 3 armor is being worked on. And then we have the ships level 2 being researched as well for his Vikings, so they're going to be very powerful. DT's warping in on the bottom of the map. They're going to come in here and actually start to do some damage to these expansions. And there's going to be a turn on the field on this one, so this DT is going to die instantly. One DT is going to do a lot of damage to his command center. It's turning into a planetary fortress, but there's going to be a scan going down on it, and it's going to go down right away. So here we go. We're just waiting for someone to make a move and attack, and this is going to be very interesting to see what happens in this late game. Drewbie doing a great job protecting his bases. The observer actually destroyed there up on top. Or Prism Observer, one or the other. And we are just basically having both players sit back, get their upgrades, and get their bases starting to get saturated all over the map. Worker count is going to be 73 to 68 in favor of tOwhOm still, but those mules are going to make a big difference up. And both players just gaining so many minerals, 3,000 minerals to make for Drewbie since he's maxed out, 1,800 for tOwhOm since he is maxed out as well. And what are we going to see happen here? This is getting very interesting, getting long and drawn out at this point in my opinion, but this is going to be intense once they attack. And we are going to see tons of scans go down since, hey, Drewbie has money in the bank, why not? He's able to see what exactly tOwhOm has. He's going to see 3 Colossus, 4 Colossus on the field. There's 5 now, and tons of Archons. He's not going to have to worry about Storm, though. Look at all those Vikings and Medevacs. I don't know if this is going to be a bad mixture for Drewbie or not. We're going to have to wait and see, because that's a lot of Vikings with not that many. Well, there's a lot of Colossus on the field, too. There's 6 Colossus, so probably a good idea having that many Vikings. I'll take that back. I'll take that back. So we are going to see a scan go down after destroying one Marauder or Marine there. It was a Marine. And we are going to see actually Drewbie push the middle of the map. And we are going to see tOwhOm actually try to get in position once again. We are going to see an encounter once again. Here we go. tOwhOm is going to come in here. The Vikings are going to start doing a lot of damage to these Vikings, but the Vikings are destroying these Colossus so fast. And all this army is dying from tOwhOm. The Zealots are dying really fast. The Marauders doing a great job picking them off. And my goodness, this army is being devastated from tOwhOm. tOwhOm is warping in as many units as he can, and that's going to be all those Zealots are going to come in from the back end of this. Stem is going to be going down, and Zealots are going to be dying so fast. And Drewbie doing a great job just basically pushing in here. But DTs and Zealots are all in this mixture. Tons of units being warped in. And Drewbie's going to have to back away here so he can get some reinforcements. Warping is so powerful. And these DTs are coming here doing a lot of damage as well. Here comes the reinforcements from Drewbie, though. Drewbie's going to start to pick off a lot of DTs and also Stalkers. And it's going to go back to back, but this is going to be Drewbie actually winning this battle. Drewbie pushing back, and that was definitely a very even exchange in my opinion, but we are going to see the Vikings actually inside the base of tOwhOm dying, and one actually Viking does survive. And if we look at the army count now, 178 to 122. Look at Drewbie just maximizing his barracks and just taking over this game. All these barracks on the field are just completely making this army maxed out once again. And tOwhOm is going to be pushing in the middle, but I don't think that's a good idea with the size of the army of Drewbie already almost maxed out. And it's going to be interesting to see what Drewbie can do. Actually, more like tOwhOm, what tOwhOm can do at this point. Lots of DTs being warped in to try to do some cloaked damage, and Zealots are coming on the field as well. 159 to 196 is the army count in favor of Drewbie at this point, even having some tactical nukes going down as well. Will Drewbie have time to use them or not? Because there's tons of Ghost out there with tons of VMP and energy that wants to nuke away if they can. And we are going to see Drewbie pushed into the bottom of the map with some SCVs, trying to make some room for some army counts since he has 4,000 minerals in the bank. Why not? And he is going to be able to, get those troops cleaned up pretty fast, but he's going to start to saturate that count there a little bit more. Here comes another push. Zealots in front, DTs in front, and these DTs and Zealots are doing a lot of damage to the Marauders and Marines. EMP does go down, and there's a lot of Marines and Marauders dying. These Colossus are doing a lot of damage, but I think Drewbie's just going to be so far ahead in the army count, and warping in some more units to try to deal with this as much as he can is going to be tOwhOm. tOwhOm pushing in here and trying to destroy as much army as he can, but Marines and Marauders being produced on a lot of barracks to be able to back this up. But tOwhOm doing a great job just trying to keep this army count down below the minimum. And I don't know, this is looking good for tOwhOm at all. 170 again is the army count for Drewbie compared to 119 for tOwhOm. And we are going to see Drewbie just basically producing so much from all these barracks. And he has so many minerals in the bank. This is not looking good for tOwhOm at all, just because Drewbie can just keep on maximizing his army fast as he can. But tOwhOm can do the same thing, though. I mean, he is producing as much as he can at the rate that he can, but he needs to throw a couple more gates down, I think. Not enough gateways down on the field to produce his army as fast as he can. And he is only working off of a couple of box facilities. He could throw down a couple more, I think. That might help out a little bit as well to get more Colossus on the field, or some Immortals. And I think if you went Immortals, it would probably be a better idea, just because there's so many Vikings in the field that can neutralize these Colossus so fast. Destroying a lot of workers is going to be tOwhOm, but that's going to be scary for him because that just makes his army just much bigger. And I don't know, this is looking very scary for tOwhOm here. Nukes going down. He's actually producing 3 more nukes. Where the heck is this He's got tons of Ghost Academy, so going in for possibly some nukes here very shortly. There goes one nice little ghost marching across the map. And possibly going to be nuking the army or maybe the base. We'll have to wait and see. He's going to go for the actual army. And I think he's well aware of this possibly. If he gets this off, this is going to be very bad. He might actually get it off. No, he does back away at the last second there. So that nuke is going to destroy his ghost and be a wasted nuke, basically. Almost destroys his nuke, or destroys his ghost. Another nuke is going to go down right on top of the army, but he's well aware of this. But just get him out of position, all he's really trying to do at this point. And here we go. Here comes the engagement. He might actually gauge this and get him in position of this nuke. This could be really bad. The nuke is going to go down possibly, and it does go down. All the Colossus get destroyed from the nuke. And we are going to see the Zealots march in here, though, and destroy all these Marines and Marauders. Zealots do so much damage to these Zealots, or to these Marauders. And this army's going to push in here with no Colossus, but tons of Zealots and Stalkers. And we are going to see Drewbie actually back away, but he's actually engaging with Vikings inside the main base of tOwhOm. But tOwhOm is doing a lot of damage to these Marauders, and there's more Marauders being produced as the time goes on. But the same thing is happening to tOwhOm. He's able to get this build up as well. Very interesting attack here from both players, and this is not actually looking really good for tOwhOm. tOwhOm is actually cleaning up here, and he needs to really get his Vikings back, I think, to deal with this before he loses all of them. And these Zealots are just doing so much damage, but look at all these medevacs coming out. He needs to get his army together. It's so spread out, but I mean, he's actually attacking from two different directions, from the bottom and from the top. And did all of his Vikings die eventually? They did die by these Colossus that are marching across the map. And it's going to be interesting to see what exactly happens here. Both players are doing a lot of pressure on each side of the map. But Drewbie is getting his troops finally together, and the army count is going to be in favor of Drewbie. But look at this. The DTs are actually in here doing a lot of damage to this army, and he is just so spread out. And Drewbie is just like losing his army pretty fast here once again. tOwhOm is doing a lot of damage. Nukes are going off all over the map on the mineral lines here. So he's doing a great job destroying a lot of workers and making sure he's not able to mine. So a lot is going on the map. I can't keep up with everything that's going on. And we are going to see this DTs just go do a lot of damage here, but he just keeps on putting the hurt down on these mineral lines here by these nukes. And I'm just trying to catch all these nukes that are going down here. Just one on the bottom of the base here. It's going to go down here very shortly. And there it goes down. Destroys all those workers. Oh my goodness. Worker count is now going to be... workers lost 49 workers to 34. And the army size is going to be 32 to 134. So Drewbie's going to be heading the army size. Worker is going to be about the same. Drewbie pushing here with another drop, just doing a lot of damage to the tech buildings, and he's going to pick up and go well. So, man, this is a very interesting game, very, very long game, 38 minutes into the game, and we still don't have a winner. And, yeah, we are just going back to back on this. The minerals are almost out on the bases, though. So, but look at Drewbie's army. It's 178 to 77. Drewbie is definitely going to be having a huge army, and he's going to be able to attack and probably clean this up at this point in the game. He's just so far ahead now. Drewbie marching down here to the bottom of the base, it looks like probably going to be able to pick off some stuff. And honestly, tOwhOm doesn't really have much out on the field at this point. Everything's basically destroyed. A Ghost is going to come to the high ground, and he's going to be able to come in here and possibly do another nuke. Drewbie not pushing in when he's got a huge advantage. I want to see him push in here very shortly. He's going to go and nuke it once again. There goes the nuke on top of the cannons. And here comes the attack from tOwhOm on the back side of this, but there's just too much of an army for tOwhOm to handle, and he leaves out of the game without a GG after that long game from Drewbie. Very interesting game. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with this as much as I can. I should not take a break from casting. I should just cast every day long, because when I actually take a break, I feel like I'm just so exhausted and so behind the whole game. So hopefully this cast wasn't too bad, and I hope you keep on watching my games. I appreciate you guys, subscribing and watching my games. It means a lot to me. And if you have any suggestions, comments, feedback, whatever it is, please let me know. But that's all I have for today, and hopefully you guys will keep on watching.